Good evening. My name is Zeynep Arsel. I'm Concordia University Research Chair in Consumption and Markets. Today I'm going to talk about taste, a marker of being human and a pillar of our culture, our collective creation. What do you think? Pretty? Childish? Surreal? Impossible? Comedic? Perfect? I see that you're judging it. That's all right. Taste gives us the permission to make aesthetic judgments like that. Here now, I'm not talking about gustatory taste, though it's a part of the same universe. I'm talking about how we relate to objects, art, spaces, representations like this. Social scientists have repeatedly shown that taste is learned and class conditioned. We're not born with an innate ability to make a judgment on this room, but rather through childhood and adult socialization, and through exposure to taste narratives that I'll be talking about, we develop skills to express preferences and sometimes distaste. What about this one? Perhaps it resonates with you better, or perhaps not. Perhaps you would have liked it more if it wasn't too popular due to the TV show it represents, because you're too cool. Or maybe if you grew up in the 80s like me, it might remind you of your grandma's living room. Taste is contextual. Again, we're making judgments here. We're displaying taste. We're showing where we stand in social structure through established cultural frames. Beyond maintaining and expressing social class, taste also helps us relate to the material and symbolic. It furnishes us with the skills and vocabulary to do things, such as appreciating wine, talking about wine, looking at art, picking up furniture, organizing that furniture in our homes. Even in a mundane space like an entryway, like this picture, taste orchestrates daily practice. It helps us organize objects in a very precise fashion and seek meaning and expression. In this case, a warm, cozy, but organized home, conspicuously middle class. So where do these templates come from? How do we learn how to organize things like that? Popular culture is full of narratives, or taste regimes, as me and my co-authors call it. These orchestrate our daily practice. These are normative narratives that organize visual and material order. Martha Stewart empire is one. Oprah is another one. The media brand apartment therapy that I have studied extensively is another one. Compared to old ages, where dominant tastes were perpetuated by a singular ruling class, our rich media landscape enables relatively, and I underline relatively here, democratic debates on aesthetics and wider access to these narratives by the public. There's also more differentiation and diversity in debates of what constitutes good taste. And sometimes these narratives are embodied in a person, even though they might not be accessible to an average human. We might need Gwyneth Paltrow's lifestyle blog, Goop. This is a caption from there, where she talks about how to cook the perfect egg. We aspire to her impossibly perfect life. And even when we see its surreality, we make sense of it as a coherent mythology. It's hard to build coherent narratives of aesthetics when our lives are so fragmented and full of contradictory demands and responsibilities. It's also hard because, especially for the middle classes, the topic of this talk mostly, there are many paths to choose. To ease the process, we seem to be delegating our choices by looking at coherent narratives from popular culture, and sometimes, and in this case, celebrities. We're making sense of ourselves by borrowing interpretive frames and templates from others' lives. We practice our lives inspired by these images to achieve ideals. We replicate these ideals and even broadcast these replications, such as carefully composed breakfast shots that we see on Instagram. I'll give you an example that is quite astonishing in showing how representations are replicated. On the left, a photograph from Kim Folk magazine, a niche lifestyle publication, glossy, expensive. On the center, you see a similar shot by a popular lifestyle blogger, about a couple of 100,000 followers. And on the right, an ordinary, someone like me, Instagram user with 20-something followers. Please note the explicit reference to kinfolk in the last photo. It's quite pale, but I try to circle it. But then, of course, the problem is such mimicry flattens us. It makes us catalog people. And catalog lives are not tasteful or authentic. The tension between our desire for achieving aesthetic ideals and perfection while keeping it real is a salient one. We do not want to be caricatures. A popular blog titled Unhappy Hipsters points to that. It satirizes overly stylized and excessively propped lives perpetuated by lifestyle blogs. Why do we have tulips lying flat without a vase on our beds when we're having breakfast? Do you have tulips on your bed? I don't. I also don't have breakfast in bed. Why do so many 30-somethings have fake antlers in their living rooms? Are these our real lives, or are we just photographing some image that we saw somewhere, but then going back to our more banal existence? Thankfully, we're more complex. We're neither nor. We're mostly reflexive. We have the capacity to see that living in an all-around Barbie room will strip us from what makes us human. Our faults, like the clutter on our desks, stains on our coffee tables, chips on our plates, are real and three-dimensional. We crave for those, more than Paltrow's perfection. We take glossy and two-dimensional representations of taste and give them meaning again by making them imperfect. Thank you.